All right, my name is Ogidi Ifechukwu. I hail from Nigeria, precisely Anambra State in Nigeria, and I was a member of the ALX Software Engineering course, cohort 7. I was able to build the sales chat WhatsApp commerce bot as my specialization project in that was around April thereabout. Um, the idea of sales chats came as regards of me personally, the preference of um, doing back-end projects. I've not been had the um, I'm not too good in UI UX design, so I saw that as a challenge in my foundations project, and I was thinking of ways to show my strengths in back end and without having to be constrained by UI design. And at that point in time, Face of ALX was featuring the Neurobot, the guy that did a WhatsApp bot on that takes in prompts and gives you information. And he designed it with the idea of students educate for education. That is, you ask for assignments and then it gives you a response based on questions that you asked it. So I said, why not? Why can't I do a WhatsApp bot? At least I can use the WhatsApp's UI for my front end and then I just dwell on the back end. And that was how SimChat came about. That was what brought about the idea of having a WhatsApp bot. Um, the project took me 2 weeks from the design to the development. Took me 2 weeks because that was the duration of the the specialization project. That was the specialization project. The first week, I worked on developing the models for the resources, the database, using Square Chemi. Okay, back a bit. The framework for the project was Flask. I used Flask Python. I used Flask Python for the project and used for my database. I used MySQL for the database. The project's models were developed with Flask, the ORM to connect with MySQL and Python. That was done in a whole week. It took me a whole week to finish with that. Then the next week, I started working on the payment integrations. Using originally, I wanted to use um, Flutterwave, but there was a bit of contention with the documentation. I wasn't really understanding the documentation, and I had to learn that, and I didn't have time at all. So I started looking for alternatives, different alternatives. I tried a lot of things. I wanted to try using Stripe, and then I stumbled upon Paystack, and that's the Paystack API was much more user friendly to me at that point in time. So I used Paystack to do payment integrations, that is sending money and receiving money into the application at that point, because at that point, we're only receiving money into the application. And then after handling the payment integration, I now wanted to now connect with the WhatsApp itself, with the WhatsApp API itself. Originally, I wanted to use them, sorry, Twilio. I wanted to use Twilio, but there was a limitation with numbers in my zone here, that's in Nigeria. So Twilio didn't have the phone numbers for Nigeria for me to use to test the bot. So I had to look for other options. I tried Temi, it also didn't work. And it just struck me, why not try using the Facebook API itself? Because a big company like that should have a very good API that I can actually interact with. And that had me to start going through in less than a day. I had to start going through the whole documentation of the WhatsApp business platform, understanding how the cloud API works, watching a lot of videos to really, really understand how the API works. I started designing and started working with the messages. And that was how we're able to connect these three platforms together. That is the models that I created, the payments integration using Paystack, and then the communications using the WhatsApp Cloud API. Using WhatsApp Cloud API. Any other thing I'm missing? Hello. All right. Now, how the bot works. Um, Basically, it's like a middle. It's like it's acts as a middleman between the customer and the client. Okay, I didn't say this before. Part of the idea of um, the sales chatbot was also coming online on WhatsApp, and every time, instead of you coming online to see status, things that make you happy, things that make you interested, things that make you sweet, like will come online on WhatsApp, and what will flood you will be advertisements of a lot of people selling different things, like pictures on videos of marketing, and people are using WhatsApp for that. So the idea came, why not bring this whole marketplace into a single um, chat, so that the remaining part of WhatsApp possibly can be less cluttered. So this had to now do with the client side and then the customer side. The clients here is the people that want to buy from a customer. That customer is now someone that is registered under sales chat. First and foremost, um, the process begins with the customer. That is the person who wants to sell. The process begins with the customer. The person wants to sell. First, the person has to register with the application. He has to send in his name, his email, his bank information, so that he can receive payments whenever the client makes a purchase. Um, so he registers with his name, his email, and the bank informations. That's the bank number, the bank name, source code, and the likes. And after that, then the person is now given the option of um, posting their products on the marketplace. As you make a prompt with products, and then it gives you the templates on how to fill in the product that you need. If it has an image, you attach the image in it. If it's a digital product, you specify in the template as a digital product. If it's description of the project, the name, the price of the product, we all put in the template and then sent to WhatsApp. Then at the back, we process it, put it in our the models, and after processing the information and ensuring that everything is correct, and we save in a database, and then third person that has registered. And from then onwards, it has been added to the marketplace. The customer, that is our customer now, can check his profile to know the amount of products that he has, how many is still remaining, if it's something like maybe an inventory, how many is still remaining, something like that. And then how many people have bought, or how many um, clients are purchasing that product. Depends on personal product. Then for the client initially does not need to register to see the product on the marketplace. The person can just come online and say, hello, I need this, or I'm looking for this, or search. And okay, the prompt actually is search for this. So it says search, and then whatever information he wants to search about, and then in the back end we look for a match with whatever the person wants to get. Targeting the match, we present a list of options, maybe about five, and then if there is more, it will be an option for if person wants more, and then person clicks whatever one he wants, and more information about that product is displayed, the price and the likes, and if the person wants to add it to cart, then once the person adds it to cart, but before the person adds it to cart, before the option comes up for adding to cart, the person has to now register to add that product to his own cart. That is now the client. The client has to register. After the client has registered, can now add it to the cart, and then subsequently proceed to checkout, which will now be given a link to PayStack for him to make the payment. And after payment is done, then the product can be gotten towards the client from the customer. That's basically the flow of the application. The challenges we faced in this was basically uh, it was basically power. At that point in time, there was a lot of blackout in the place where I was, and internet connectivity. Those were the major two challenges that we faced during that point in time. because although I was in school, but school was just beginning, so I wasn't that much active at that point in time. So I had a little bit of time to work on the project. But the major challenges that we had was just the power connection and internet connectivity, and then connecting the WhatsApp Cloud API. There are a lot of verifications that needs to be done to ensure that this is a business, and currently we're still working on those verifications so that the products can now go live. Okay, I was keen on privacy because this is an application that has to do a lot with money, and money is a very sensitive topic. So you need to ensure that uh, the user's information, both the client and the customer, their information are secured, and there's no breaches or any attacks on their own uh, financial on their own finances, so that there is no let's say someone comes on the app, maybe someone has access to your WhatsApp, and when the person has access, now sees the chat and wants to just go through previous messages, and then he sees, okay, this is his password, this is his information on the application that can easily. So there's a need for the person to actually delete those messages, because on our end, we don't actually store the messages that come in. So on our end, the messages are to a large extent secure, but on the client side, on the user side, there's a need for the user to be extra careful in ensuring that they delete every single message that contains sensitive data. Okay, final words of wisdom or advice to peers currently approaching the project. Um, I will say basically, don't work alone. As much as I know that this project was, I literally designed and coded the whole thing on my own. But I won't say I worked alone, because I reached out to a lot of people, both peers in the ALX community and outside. I had a lot of mentors. I had a lot of even mentors in the ALX. I reached out asking, okay, how do I design the database? What do I do? How can I connect the whole models together to ensure security and everything? How do I connect with payments? How do I connect with the WhatsApp API? So it's important that as software engineers, it's very important that we never work alone. There's always a tendency of wanting to do everything yourself because of time and everything, or maybe you may feel that you are good, but that is not the truth. At every point in time, ensure that you are learning with someone, that you are learning from someone, and you are giving back to the community. Thank you.